A family of 4 in the United States averages anywhere from $600 to $1,300 per month on groceries. I have a family of 7, so you can guess where that budget ends up. Now, I have shown you many secrets in the past on how I work to buy in bulk and save huge on my groceries. But today I'm going to bring you along for the absolute craziest grocery score of my entire life. I'm also going to show you the secrets to finding similar deals near you. So if you're looking for ways to trim the fat in your grocery budget, don't go anywhere. I consider us an 80-20 family when it comes to eating super high quality foods. We do the absolute best that we can, but we also love a few less than super healthy convenience foods. Today, I want to show you exactly how I find those at the lowest prices possible and exactly what I do with them when I get them home. But we're also going to unpack this month's Azure Standard haul full of amazing high quality organic goods. And I want to show you where the savings comes from and exactly how you can find something similar in your area. This little store that I frequent every probably 18 months is out in the middle of nowhere and not like your typical discount grocer that gets a bunch of food when it's going bad. What they do is have access to buy boxes of food that get rejected from restaurants if the box is damaged or there's any issue with the actual travel of the package itself. You might notice that all of the boxes that I'm pulling in here have a little bit of damage to that box, but the food inside is perfectly good. Oftentimes, they will open the box lid to make sure that everything's good inside, so you might see some extra tape. But the food and the quality of the food is 100% still intact, and they're able to sell it at amazing discounts. So this is the kind of thing that you have to get online and scour the internet for or ask some friends, but you'll be amazed at what you can come up with. I got things like a 25-pound box of white chocolate morsels from Nestle Toll House, some chicken tenders, some chicken fritters, both from Tyson, as well as a box, which is actually what sent me there. It's called Steak Ease. Now, I will tell you a little bit more about the Steak Ease later and exactly why that sent me off on this journey to begin with. But anytime I am able to load up on some basics and things that I can't get locally at any sort of similar comparable price, and I have time to do it, I make that trip. Another way that I am able to fill my kitchen every single month with amazing high quality products without paying the retail cost is by shopping Azure Standard. You all know I am a huge fan of them. I have shopped them for several years now and have an entire pantry full of products that I am able to purchase organic prices, normally at really comparable prices to what I can get traditional conventionally grown products for here at home, as well as high quality body products. Now, if you notice down on the bottom of that box, I have shampoo and conditioner. I love to make sure that my girls who are growing up now are not being exposed to the toxic chemicals that can be in things like shampoo and conditioner as well. So we get high quality body products from Azure as well as the foods. I am going to bring you along as I put away this Azure Standard haul, which is only going to take a couple minutes. And then we're going to jump back into the prices and the value of what exactly was in all of those huge brown boxes that I brought in from my discount grocer. Now, the first stock on my bulk pantry restock is my organic cane sugar. Now, as you can see, it's not crystal clear and white, so it is a little bit different, but it tastes amazing, cooks up the same, and is really, really the cleanest option you can go for if you are using sugar in your products. We don't always use sugar, but when we do, we usually buy 25-pound bags at a time. This month, the 25-pound bags were out, so I grabbed a few 5-pounds just to get us through until we were ready to restock in the spring. Other things that I love to buy in bulk are dry beans. I keep pinto, black, and red kidney beans on hand. We go through them a ton in the fall season as we're making soups and stews, so they're great to have around. And another pantry staple that I was totally out of here is butter. Now, I have moved to buying an organic butter, but that was just a recent change based on the stock when I was ordering on my Azure order. If I was not concerned about organic or was just in the beginning stages of moving to a bulk pantry and working on budget, I would just go to Sam's Club and buy a ton of their big blocks of butter because you are able to take advantage of the bulk price savings, get your pantry started, and not concern yourself with the extra price that would come along with the organic options at that time. Other things I love, of course, bulk spices. This is garlic powder. I typically make my own, but last year we decided to overwinter our chickens in the garden. And if you can imagine, garlic is planted in the fall. While it was all under cover, it did not survive all of their pecking and scratching. So this year's garlic found a new location in the kitchen. And hopefully next year I won't be buying garlic anymore because I truly do love the flavor that comes along with a homegrown organic garlic. I also added some yeast to my list this time. Most typically, I don't go through it very fast, but I left my last jar out on my counter for a couple days before noticing it in my pantry, so I had to get that replaced going into the fall baking season. Now here you can see 3 huge rock hard solid packs of those white chocolate morsels that I showed you earlier. I got a 25-pound box. That is not something I would typically purchase, but my mother-in-law does a lot of chocolate work around Christmas, and I was able to give her a huge bulk of those and probably will end up shuffling a lot more of those over her way as the time comes. But they were $5 for that huge box, which is normally around $70, so I just couldn't pass it up. The first of my major score items that I want to show you right now is a Texas toast garlic bread. Now this comes frozen in a box. It is just a huge box. Nothing is divided in there. So you want to kind of thaw things just a little bit, enough to pull them apart, and then go ahead and separate them out into a size that'll work well for your family. Now I put 12 slices in each bag. The boxes that we typically get at the grocery store only have 8 pieces, and that's not quite enough for our family of 7. Also, the cost for those 8 pieces is $3.59. That makes each slice about 45 cents. So I'll give you the numbers in a little more detail on the full savings in just a minute, but I wanted to show you something else. While I was at the grocery store, I love to scan the racks of the magazines because I'm always looking for the next big, amazing recipe. Now, I'm not sure if you're like me or not, but when I pick up a magazine and see that the price is $13 for a single magazine, I just can't deal. So today I'm going to take just a minute to share with you a magazine that I found a few months back that I am totally loving, which is the Backwoods Home Magazine, as well as Self-Reliance. Now, if you are interested in natural living, taking care of yourself in sustainable ways, taking care of the land, or just delicious recipes that you can share and make in your home, you really should check this out. It's full of 116 pages in every single edition with full color, back to basics, from scratch, beautiful recipes that will show you not only how to make traditional foods, but also how to can, garden, and do all the things that come along with homestead life. Recently, I've been going back to garden planning, and seeing this article on building your own seed bank really had me thinking, do I really need that Baker Creek book next to me? Well, I do, because I haven't been making my own seed bank, but it's something that's been on my mind for quite a while. And with the help of Self-Reliance, I'm ready to do it. Now, also, this cartoon is hilarious to me. It's basically talking about how at the end of the year, we are so done with the garden, but we always want those seed catalogs. So Backwoods Magazine and Self-Reliance are so fun, not just for me to get great ideas on how to take care of my homestead, but also for the kids. Every edition comes with a beautiful coloring page that are homestead and home theme related content, which of course my girls totally love. Whether the subscription is for you or for yourself, make sure to take advantage of the combo of both of these magazines this holiday season. I'll put a link down in the description that will give you 50% off the annual membership price. It's a quarterly magazine that will change the way you care for your home and give you something beautiful to look at the same time. I want to thank the amazing team at Backwoods Home Magazine and Self-Reliance for sponsoring today's video. Now back to that garlic bread. I was able to get 12 dozen slices of bread out of that one box. Now there's one caution here that I really should have thought about when I was at the store. That takes up a lot of space, even when it's vacuum sealed. So if you're going after any bread product, and I should have known this from past history when I had a gluten-free box that I got before, when we were dealing with a gluten-free allergy issue in my home, bread just takes up way more space. You can store a ton of meat in not that much space. When it comes to bread, it's just something that's going to be very room consuming. So make sure that you have the space in your freezer to store everything that you're buying when you bring it home. If you don't already have a deep freezer, put it on your Christmas list. Keep your eyes out on Facebook Marketplace. You can find some absolutely amazing deals just by keeping your eyes peeled. It's because of the available freezer space that I was able to save 93% over the retail cost that it would cost if I went to purchase the same amount of bread at our local grocery store. Now for the steakies. This is something that I first learned about on some carnivore food groups when I was going down that journey a few years back, and they just rave about how amazing these are. This is beef that is sliced really thin, just like you'd go to a restaurant and order Philly cheesesteak. Basically, it's shaved just like that and then frozen all together in one patty with some parchment paper in between so they don't stick together. Because these cook up to be such a large amount of meat, I'm storing 5 individual packages together. The idea is that I'll be able to feed my entire crew of 7 with the 5 different patties. But if I need a few more, I can always pull out extra. Or if I just want to take 1 or 2 servings out at a time for a smaller meal, we could do that as well. I got 8 of these packages, so 40 total portions of the steakies. When I went online to price this out, it was over $136 if you're ordering this, of course, in an undamaged box. But my box was damaged, right? So I got this for $7.50. That is a savings of 94%. And I am telling you, we are just getting started with stocking this freezer. Now, if you take a peek behind me there on the corner of the table where I'm setting all the meat, there are a couple bags of those chicken strips. They were sealed in bags that were small enough to where I just decided to leave them together and throw them directly in the freezer. But that is not the case for what I'm sharing with you right now. These are pre-cooked Jimmy Dean original sausage patties. So if you think about this, this is the same kind of thing that if you went to a gas station or a restaurant and asked for a breakfast sandwich, this is what you're going to get. And because these are already pre-cooked, they make a super quick and easy hit of protein for anybody in the family, kids or adults included, that wants to try something a little different than the meal that we have planned or is just looking for a great quick and easy breakfast menu item. The one caution here is that this is a huge box. You do have to have space to store it. They are not as easy to pull apart as when you get them from the store and they're all flat in a box like this. So I tend to pull out 1 or 2 packages at a time, and I will keep them either in the freezer or if I know we're going to have them that morning, I just go ahead and throw them in the refrigerator overnight so they're really loose and easy to pull apart the next day. But that is well worth the sacrifice when it comes to the cost savings that I'm going to share with you with these patties here shortly. Now, the other thing that I will bring up is it's super important to have a food saver or some kind of vacuum sealer when you are purchasing in bulk and storing it for the long haul. If I put all of this food in Ziploc bags and gave it access to air, it would not last as long as we will have it around. If you take a look at that counter, you can see the ton of breakfast sausage patties that I have there. When it came down to it, this was over 400 patties. 400 in that box. So yes, you need space to store it, but the price of these patties was $7.50 for that entire box. If I purchased that many at the price that's on the shelf at my grocery store, that would be over $300 in sausage patties alone. They come out to 75 cents each at that retail price, but I was able to get them for under 2 cents by having the availability and finding this cool little store hidden out of the way to take advantage of their awesome prices. As you can see, I made quite the haul, and the total cost that I spent at that discount grocery store was $45. Those French fry bags that you saw in the beginning were $1 each on sale. Normally they're $2. But if I go to my local grocery store to buy French fries, which we do on occasion when we're eating hamburgers, the kids just absolutely love them, of course. They're kids, right? A similar size bag runs me close to $9 just for one. So if you are wanting to find something similar in your area, I would first go to Facebook and search discount wholesale grocer or discount closeout grocer or something of that sort. You might have to travel around to a few to see if they have what you're looking for. But another option might be to check with anyone you know who might work for a wholesale grocer, see what they can find out for you on where those are sold. The company that I found actually has so many groceries coming in all of the time that they'll often run huge sales just to liquidate what they get because they get a new truck of this amazing high quality food every single week at the minimum. I can usually find things like the sausage patties there. They also often have big, huge bulk bags of flour, Before, I got a bag of King Arthur bread flour for $10, which was a 50-pound bag. So it was an amazing deal. So you really never know what you're going to find. In the past, I've also gotten some huge shrimp that were amazing high quality. They actually had a code on the box so we could trace it back to which wild caught fishing boat that they came from right out of the ocean. So super high quality products at very, very amazingly low prices. They actually had a deal up for snow crab legs a couple weeks ago, and I'm glad I didn't see it at the time because we don't have space for them. But when they're running huge sales like that, sometimes it's hard to pass up. The last thing that I want to share with you today is how I take care of my onions to make sure that they last the long haul. Now, I grow my own onions, but I'm to the point in the year where my crop wasn't as great as I was hoping, and I need some extras. So these are organic onions that I pick up from Azure Standard. I grab some knee-high women's leggings from actually Amazon because you can't get them at even a Dollar General anymore. And then I just put one down there, slide it in, and tie a knot in between every single one. You want to make sure to tie that knot because when you need to pull one off, you just cut right below the knot. It will keep the rest of them in there and hanging and give them plenty of space for ventilation, but it won't let all the rest of them fall out of the bottom. When you're storing onions for the long term, one thing you want to make sure is that they're not all touching each other. Also, that they're not in direct sunlight. So the 4 that I have in my hands, as well as my little stockings that I like to stuff the onions in, will head back to my working pantry while the rest are headed for the basement. This entire grocery haul had a value over $1,000, and I paid less than $300 for the entire thing, including the portion that I took out to my in-laws' house. If you're looking for more ideas on how to save big on groceries, I'll make sure to link a playlist for you. And don't forget to check that link in the description so you can save big on Backwoods Home Magazine and Self-Reliance Today.